tutorial video on how to use the Bezier tool in Inkscape, as well as change the landscape or the orientation of your layout, whether you want it portrait or landscape. If you want to do that, you just come over here to File, come to your document properties. I don't know why it keeps putting that thing in the corner, but it does it all the time. And right here is where you would change that to landscape. See it flip it behind there. I always like to just go ahead and switch it to inches because I'm not a very good metric guy. Right here you can set it to a legal, US paper, executive. Then you can get into your drafting designs as well, which is pretty cool. You got many different sizes to choose from. You could also change your guides, your snaps, your colors. You can get pretty creative with this. It gets pretty in depth. I would just recommend, if you haven't started with this, that I would start with something simple with just the basic orientation of the page. Yeah, so that's that. Basically, this puts us right here, and we're ready to start working. I don't know how many people have actually used Inkscape, but it's real simple to use this Bezier tool. It allows you to essentially draw this picture. So if you have a basic picture that you want to start with, you just set it up in a folder. It's pretty simple, really. I'll show you. You just make a basic folder, put the picture into it. I always do this just to make it easier on myself. You just click and drag it right into here until you see this little plus menu pop up, and then you can open this back up, whatever. I always like to do smooth just because I want quality over speed. I don't care how long it takes. I just want it to look good, so I have something good to start with. Press OK, and then it'll insert it into, whoops, cancel. I fat fingered it, sorry. Then you insert it into here. For this particular one, I think we're going to go portrait. I mean, just because if you were trying to stretch this thing out, then it would look all crazy. So let's go ahead and do that while we're waiting. See, I don't know why it does that every time, but it does. Portrait. Save it. Now, a cool little thing here is we've imported this image, and Inkscape has kept it the same size. Now, if we were to drag this around, everything would get disproportionate, right? And it'd look weird, to say the least. To fix what we just did, of course, you just come here to undo, and we're right back. If you guys see this little lock button right here, as long as you have clicked on the picture and you get these arrows, you can come up here and lock the picture. By locking the picture, it keeps everything proportionate at the same size we move it. So basically what I do is I just start by lining up my photo with this paper as best as I can. Usually it's pretty close. Sometimes it's not. But you got to play with it and work around. So basically, now that we've got this here, we can open up our little gradients menu, which is right here, which I've already got it pulled up over here. As long as you have selected the item, see, watch, when you click out, you get no options because you haven't selected anything. That's very frustrating when you first get started if you don't know that. Click on it, make sure it's highlighted. You can come over here and you can change how, like, bright, or I guess the blur. I mean, there's two different things. This is the gradiency, so I guess it makes it translucent, but you also have the blur, which blurs things. I wouldn't recommend that. I would just recommend, you know, turning this down so that way you can start to see your outline on the paper as well as the picture behind the background. Now that we're here, these are your basic functions over here. You know, you have your pointer, you have your node selector, you have your waste creator, your zoom, your ruler, your basic shapes right here. Then you got your advanced shapes, but this is what we're here for, the Bezier tool. So we want to click on that and just start in the corner, right? Control mouse wheel will zoom you in. Spacebar will allow you to roll where you need to be. So basically you just want to put a click. You just start by putting a click, and I can take this wherever I want to go. Whether it's here, whether it's just here, or even if it's just here. Me personally, I've done a little bit of playing around with it, so I just control click, and then I come in here and I grab this line. That's it. See there? Boom. It's really, really simple, you guys. It's once you get the hang of it, it's super, super fast. Next thing you want to do is click back down here on the Bezier tool, and it'll look like something like this with a little pen. See the difference? Pencil, pen. Okay. From this point, you want to make sure that this next square highlights red, because if it doesn't, then that means that thing won't be connected. And so if you try to fill color or anything like that, it won't. Inkscape just doesn't like it, and it won't allow it because there's open borders. So basically, you just want to come in here and make sure it's red. Click, then come down probably about right here. Enter, get the solid line, come back to your nodes, grab it right where you think the middle of this concave is, and just pull it out. Simple as that. And then you can do all kinds of stuff with this thing. Look at that. I mean, it's pretty cool. But basically, I just want to keep it uniformed right now, just for the sake of this tutorial, and just keep it moving. All right. Next thing, come down to the Bezier tool again. Make sure we're highlighted. Enter. Now this thing's a little different. It's not got a lot of curvature to it, so you just got to be careful. You don't want to over exaggerate it, if that makes sense. All right, and then you just rinse and repeat until. All right, let's show something here. Let's say we want to do it a little bit bigger, right? Control, scroll out. Let's put it here. Now what happens if we want to see it has two concaves here and then a convex there. So how do we do that, right? Well, this node button allows you to pretty much move this where you want it, right? Then you can add a node by double clicking. Did y'all see that? And it gives you more options, to say the least. So now I just grab this and I bring it on in. This is a little weird right here, so we just add a node. Double click, come in here, give it a little bit of curvature, and come down here, close that in. You can bring this out some more, and then bam, there that is. So this will allow you to do multiple shapes. It doesn't matter what the size of it is or even what it looks like. Like this one's pretty cool. You can actually grab the whole thing. Come down here, Bezier tool again. Make sure we're on the red. The last one. Now the trick here is that there's no border, right? We never put a border on this picture. So this little guy right here is going to be, you can't fill this picture because there's no outer border here. So you are going to have to get creative and make one, right? Simple. See it snap to the corner. Boom. Red. Get the red box. Come on up. If you hold control right here, see how I'm able to move this line wherever I want? If you hold control, see how it snaps it to a 45 or to a straight line? I would definitely use control right here. Come on up. Zoom back in because we're going to be the same thing here. We're going to want to go to this line. Click, enter, red node to red node. And there, we have a complete shape now. Now, I can come back here and grab this picture, right? Get it out the way. Boom. Now we've got a face. Cool, right? That could be filled. Bloop, you know, something like so. It can be even, let's see, duplicate, and now we have two, right? You can come to object, should be able to flip, there we go, flip horizontal, bloop. Bam. There we go. It is simple as that, guys. And I hope this helps you out a lot.